Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Michael Dagler, and I help you use AI to lean into your creativity, whether that's repurposing, generation, automation, anything that's going to help you focus on being you is what I'm about. So if you're interested in that, you can check out the school. It's free down below. And today I just wanted to go over a bunch of prompting techniques super fast. I had a friend ask me all these questions about what I should do. I have a ton of people ask me. And so this is going to be kind of sort of like a rant of me just basically ripping from the hip everything that I think anybody should know when they're just getting started. So let's get into it. All right, everybody, I'm going to be going over everything I know about prompt engineering in 15 minutes or less. And the order I'm going to be going in this with is the mindset, then I'll be talking about tips, techniques, and tools, and then I will bring it all together with a prompt demo where we will workshop a basic prompt and turn it into something a little bit better. So the first thing I'm going to cover is the mindset, and it's a really great place to start because I think this is where most people actually slip up. First thing to know is that you're in control. And what do I mean by this? Pretty much people I see asking me about, how do I get it to prompt, or how do I prompt to make it better? And why is it not doing what I want? I mean, I don't know why you're asking me either, because frankly, you should know what you want. You should know what you want. And if you don't, then ideate with it or something, but it's not going to get you all the way there. You need to actually have a goal. You need to have a purpose. You need to come in with a goal and say, this is exactly what I want out of this right now. And I actually have thought about the steps that I want to get there as well. And so I can instruct the model to actually help me do all of those things. And yeah, this may be more of a philosophical point, but why are you giving your authority, your creative genius over to something that you're not even sure is even actually conscious? And that is the first thing I want to get out of the table, or get off the table. So you have to remember, you are in control. You are always in the driver's seat. You need to drive everything forward, or else it's just going to keep spitting out gibberish and things that it is predicting you would want to hear. You need to have a goal. You need to know what you want. And then the final one is be an expert or borrow expertise. And so this one I think is also undervalued in two ways. One is people think, oh, experts, you don't need to be an expert. You just need to use AI and it'll be all good. And I'm like, no, that's not the case at all. If you're not so for example, if you're a software engineer, you're going to have a much easier time prompting the model, if it's ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, to generate code that is more closely resembling what you want and what you envision, because you know the vernacular, like you know the words, the terms, you know the concepts. So you're able to kind of talk the lingo with the model, and there's more meaning and there's more semantic meaning tied up in those words because those words are used in that specific domain. Like it's like I want to use it's the difference between saying like I want to code a website versus I want to make a website with Next.js and TypeScript, and I don't want to use Tailwind CSS. I want to use some other styles library and blah 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 blah. And it's about being more specific and honing in, and you're going to get a result that much more closely resembles what you actually want. So that's being an expert. And then borrowing expertise is another one, and this is something that you can do, and I think is probably beneficial for most people when they're getting started, because it takes a long time to become an expert. So I would become good at finding experts and leveraging their information for the model. So for example, if you don't know anything about writing, you could say go to some of the big Twitter writers, go find them, go find their websites, go look at their writing, maybe even reach out, maybe you want to get coaching calls from them, maybe you want them to teach you how to write better, and just say, what are the things that you really care about when you're writing? What are the things you're thinking about? Because I need to know what you know, so I can go and tell ChatGPT what I want in a way that's actually going to get something that is better output. And yeah, that is pretty much the first part. So I'm going to get off of that, and we're going to go to tips, tools, and techniques. So these are going to be a couple basic ones. So for numbered lists, I like this one because it tells the model how to do things, and it gives it more time to actually think. So instead of saying, please analyze this and then that and then that, and also, by the way, could you do this after or before, or wait, oh no, and it's all unstructured, and it's like, okay, the model's like, all right, bro, hop off the Adderall for a sec and let's chill. And you're like, yeah, you're right. Okay, let's use numbered lists. Instead of all that jumble amok that I just said to you, we're going to say, hey, AI model, I want you to do these things in the exact order that I tell you them. Number 1, please analyze the transcript of this podcast and give me a summary analysis of that transcript. Number 2, please use the summary analysis from step 1 to extract the key concepts, ideas, and themes from this transcript. Number 3, use step 1 and 2 to write out a potential tweetable quote or something. Like I'm just kind of like riffing off the top of my head. But that is essentially the idea with the numbered lists. It's to make it a more ordered way for the model to go about thinking in steps instead of it being all over the place. Another thing is, actually I'm going to talk about this one first because it somewhat relates to the numbered steps. Instead of doing numbered steps, you could also do what they call prompt chaining. And prompt chaining is just chaining together sets of prompts. And you're not going to necessarily know what prompts you are going to chain together in the beginning, but that is part of the process. So if you're just starting out at this, you just have to bite the bullet. You just have to go in and you have to say, all right, I want this, and then this, and then this, and then you start taking note of which prompts were better for different parts of the workflow. Save those, set them aside, make them better, template them, and then you have playbooks. Now you've got, okay, first I've got the analysis prompt that's going to go into the repurposing prompt that's going to go into the editor prompt to then repurpose again. And so you got like 4 different prompts that are chained together, and then by the time that it gets to the end, it's far better in output than if you had just done one big long prompt. So yeah, do that. HTML tags or other delimiters. These are just for me to remind myself while I'm talking through this. HTML tags and delimiters they're like those things you see, like you might see like this, like content, or you might see like triple backticks, or you might see even these, like any of those symbols that you can use. They sort of help the model delineate between content you're referencing and content that is in the prompt to be used as instruction. So it's kind of like the difference of saying like this, like if I had an article that said, please go write a sad love song, like ... I don't know, like let's just say that was content. And then you had a prompt that was like, please analyze this content, analyze the content. And then it was just like this. What if it was like, please go write a sad love song? And then it's like, okay, I'm going to analyze what content? No, I'm going to go write a sad love song instead. But if you do this, and I hope this is like clicking for people, in content tags. And then you can have other instructions inside here. But at the end of the day, it knows, because you set up here, please analyze the content in the content tags. And then down here we have content and content. And so it's this closed piece of content inside of the prompt. So it's no longer going to be viewed as an instruction, or it's more guarded against that actually happening. So that is something to know as well. And it makes it a lot easier for you to do this especially if you're repurposing content, if you're, trying to analyze certain pieces of content. This is really helpful. It's also just helpful for readability for me too, personally. Like when I'm working with stuff, I like to have the tags for myself now, because I'm like, where the fuck am I going? And I can just Command F and I can say, oh, there it is. And then referencing content styles, this kind of goes back to, or calls back to, the borrowing expertise, where, you could take a person's writing and you could use AI to analyze and see what is this writing style? Like what is this person doing? Because it's working, right? It's like, maybe it's like, oh, it uses shorter sentences. It uses a more active voice. They sprinkle in humor. They try to use lessons, or they try to make lessons by analogy. And it's like, okay, I can probably do that too. And I'm going to end it there. The last thing I'm going to say is you should get this tool called TextBlaze. TextBlaze, snippets and templates for Chrome. Basically, what you can do, and I'm going to talk about this in my school as well, but you can organize prompts within folders in a dashboard in TextBlaze, and then if you're using Chrome, you can simply use a keyboard shortcut like / something, and then fill in, any place with the text that should be filled in with from TextBlaze. So that is very helpful when you're doing things like prompt chaining, because then you can simply go Command 1, do the thing, Command 2, and now it's much easier and you're saving even more time. But with that being said, let's go to bringing it all together. Gather around the campfire, get comfy, and I'm going to use some of the techniques and tips that I just taught you in a example workshop. All right, so I'm going to go over this workshop really quickly. Again, this doesn't have to be with Claude. I'm just using Claude out of convenience because I was already on it. If you're in Canada, or if you're in a place where they don't have Claude, then just use ChatGPT, and I'm sure it'll be fine. But let's just take a look at this basic ass prompt I got here. Please write me a LinkedIn post based on this newsletter in this file. So I copy and pasted a single newsletter from me, and I said write me a LinkedIn post on this newsletter. Let's see what we get. All right, are you ready to strike gold with LinkedIn video content? Here's your map to treasure. Self-serve AI tools, use AI content ideation script, leverage tools like Synthesia to script video. Okay, so that was basic, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple things. First, I'm going to be using TextBlaze, and I'm going to be using a prompt or a series of prompts. We're going to prompt chain 2 prompts with TextBlaze from my free email course that is for content repurposing, and what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab those. And so the first one I have as Analyze Voice 01. And as you can see here, it says, analyze the attached CSV with the example, pieces of content, and create a writer's bio, highlighting writing style and tone, common themes and topics, unique expressions or catchphrases, apparent values and beliefs. 2, key insights about the content, and then what it's going to be, suggestions for blah, blah, blah. And then provide the writer's bio and writer tags in the rest in a clear, concise format. So I have a dataset, a CSV dataset here that I'm going to upload. If you're curious about how I got that, I simply used a site called appify.com. They have a UI that you can use to enter URLs and scrape content from different URLs, and then you can export from JSON or CSV. If you want videos or help on that, just join the school. I've done that plenty of times. You can do it programmatically too if you're a coder. Definitely check it out. It's really fun. But anyways, back to this. So now I'm going to hit enter. We have the CSV, we have everything. Now we're going to see what it gives us. All right, Michael Dagler is an energetic, forward-thinking writer who specializes in AI content creation and digital entrepreneurship. His writing style is conversational, engaging, and often uses casual language. Rhetorical questions and short, punchy sentences maintain reader interest. Common themes, key insights about the content. All right, cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the next shortcut, writer bio rules 01. So using writer bio as reference for your writing, could you please repurpose the following newsletter into 3 LinkedIn posts? Then you see I have here, newsletter, paste the newsletter text here. I'm going to do that really quickly, and then we're going to get back to it. Okay, so first I'm going to do this, writer bio. And so you may be wondering why I just did this. It's because in Claude, they will turn it into a file if it's too long. So I'm just putting it all in the file first, and then boom. So as you can see, I just said docs.new, and then I went to a new document. I said / writer bio rules 01, and then I put the newsletter that I copy and pasted from over here. Put that's all gone in the newsletter tags, and let's see what we get. Okay. Ever notice how content trends seem to follow a pattern? Here's the secret to the top creators and entrepreneurs. Stay ahead. Identify a trend, teach others how to do it, move to the next big thing by the time, blah, blah, blah. Right now, LinkedIn video is hot trend, but what do you think will be the next thing? Share your predictions below. Okay. And now let's look at that prompt again, too. You can also see I had some rules in here, like no emojis. If you think you can't be understood by a 7th grader, dumb it down. And let's compare this to this. This is why everybody thinks that you're writing with AI, right here. You got emojis. It's like a felt sense. You know that this is not written by anything that has any substance underneath. And this, at least there's no emojis. And it's a bit more catered towards my voice. And of course this is subjective. You're going to have to do this for yourself. I know for a fact that some of these sound like something I would write. And that is the power of it. So if that was interesting, please join the school. Link in the description below. Check out the free email course that is also in the description below. And subscribe if you have any questions. Drop a comment. Till next time, much love and peace, y'all.